one of the most prolific things, man, that I ever heard Thug say, it took me by surprise. And he said, "You must teach what's been taught." I said, "Where did you get that from?" Welcome to Expeditiously. I'm your host, Tip T.I. Harris, man. On this show, Expeditiously, we have conversations that's meant to push the culture and the generation forward. And we have those conversations with people who are relevant to the discussion. Now, my guest here today, I'm talking about, I guess you could say, mentors, if you will, in this shit called hip-hop growing up. One of the most prolific, iconic groups that kind of grabbed, steered, guided, and directed my path of progression as an artist and kind of helped me set my bar of excellence for myself as high as I could get it. The legendary rap group, Goodie Mob.
What's happening?
Oh, man.
What it do?
Consisting of Big Gift, CeeLo, Cujo, and the almighty T-Mo. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Were formed in 91 as a vital part of the Southern hip-hop mega power, organized noise, Dungeon Family.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you gained notoriety with your debut album, Soul Food, a classic, undeniable, hand down. I don't give a damn who got something to say about it. Probably one of hip-hop's greatest albums ever. You know what I'm saying? You are part of the collective that we all affectionately know as Dungeon Family, which includes, you know what I'm saying, your brothers Outkast, Witch Doctor, Backbone, Big Rude, Cool Breed, PA. You know what I mean? Right. Hey, listen. I know that you guys are back right now, man. It's the 25th anniversary of Goodie Mob, and you're commemorating that with a new album. Right back in time for Thanksgiving, called Survival Kit, releasing November 13th.
This Friday.
Now let's talk about an album for Goodie Mob today versus an album for Goodie Mob back in the 90s. Like, what's the difference in approach creatively?
Well, I would say, man, that the difference in the approach would be back in the 90s, man, it was very innocent, very organic. It was our humble beginnings. We were thirsty just for an opportunity, as opposed to truly knowing the direction that we wanted to go in with our music. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you fast forward to 2020, the Goodie Mob, you know now, you know, is very seasoned. You know what I'm saying? A lot wiser than we were back then. A lot more strategic. The way we want to move, you know what I'm saying? And also we know the subject matter that people want to hear from us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's extremely important, not just knowing what you want to say to the people, but knowing what the people want you to say, want to hear you say to them. You know what I mean? Once you develop that understanding, you kind of know how to apply your skills a little bit differently.
Yes, sir.
But this your first project together after 7 years, correct?
Yes.
What made you settle on the name Survival Kit?
Well, actually, man, the times that we was living in right now, really, and really, man, our fans, man, I mean, they not gonna let us go without getting a new album. Period. You know what I'm saying? So, the thing that we was working with right now was Survival Kit, because you got the pandemic that was going on, because it locked everybody down, because shit.
Notice he said the pandemic.
Of course. Pandemic locked
We're not gonna
everybody
let
else down.
that just glaze over y'all head.
I mean, we had a whole plan what we was gonna do for this whole year. So like in March, they shut everything down. So once we came to the realization that, man, hey, this is our 25th year anniversary, man, it would be great for us to have some new material for our fans. So with that being said, man, going back in with Organized Noise, you know what I'm saying, the OGs that put us on,
Right.
we couldn't lose with it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is us not to be far away from what's going on, not to turn a blind eye on what's going on. So we came up with that name. Well, it was a song. Our song is called Survival Kit. That's on the album. But the theme right now is Survival Kit. And right now you need music. It's going to be one of those items in your survival kit.
That's real, man.
For sure.
Hey, man, it's great to hear y'all working back with Organized Noise, man. Shout out to Rico, Ray, Pat, the 25th anniversary of soul. How does that feel? You know what I mean? You all have been leaders, you know what I'm saying? Enlightening through your music, especially about like matters like mass incarceration, police brutality, systemic racism, political repression. And even after 25 years, these injustices are still having to be addressed today. Do you see a difference in the matters you were addressing then and, you know, the status that the community or the position the community was in back when you first started addressing these issues and now in today's society?
Well, I think Atlanta as a city is a lot stronger than it was back then. Back then, we were just growing as a city, and we really were just coming into ourselves. Right now, I think we're the most politically empowered black city in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's no other black city that's as strong as Atlanta as a culture.
That makes sense.
So for us, that's why we went back in the studio.
It's us in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Lagos hell. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's us and them. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the main thing, like Timo said, we knew what we wanted to do with this album. First song we recorded was Survival Kit. And then it was like, it was on then because now we had a direction. Right. And I feel like, you got to look, Goodie Mob never rapped like kids.
That's right.
So really, right now, I feel like we rap better than we did then because we are the men that we wanted to be back then.
Right. I mean, I can agree with that.
To add on to what Git was saying, I believe that, you know, as we speak, I believe that there is still, you know, what can I say? Like, you know, I can't say if it's a larger degree or lesser degree of systemic racism and so on and so forth when we started until now. I think that it's a given, you know, simply because it's a working part, you know, of American infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Being that America is a corporation, it's a business. It's a part of the business model.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. So, you know, it is a cog.
It's a condiment.
Yeah, it's a like cog in the corporate structure, you know, and it's a cog in our condition. You know what I'm saying? Our living condition as well. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
I learned that trait too.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
When we first came out in '95, we was fighting the other shit.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So, but when people heard that the South was coming out with their own music, then we was dealing with the other racism from our own folk. We don't want to hear no South shit. Yeah. We don't want to hear that Bama shit. We don't want to hear nothing but that.
Yeah, see, I'm glad you brought that up, see, because you know what I'm saying? I came under fire.
Of course.
For, you know what I'm saying, for making those statements, although I know these things to be true.
Yeah.
Because I was around. Not just around when I became T.I. I was around early on in my life because I made trips up top every summer. And as I speak about it, it's almost, and man, listen, man, I swear to God, motherfucker hate to hear me say that. The same way white folk don't like to hear about racism and slavery. Like, nah, that was old. This is like that anymore. We treat you good. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way our northern constituents, our brothers and sisters and counterparts up top, that's the same way they treat that shit. And they don't want to consider it. They don't want to acknowledge it. You know, they kind of just be like, the most logic I got from it came from Jay-Z.
Okay.
Bro called me, he was like, and we shared a great laugh about it. And he said, hey man, it wasn't because y'all were from the South. He was like, yo, those fucking old school hip hop heads, they did us like that too. Cause we were coming with the drug dealer rap and we were getting money and shit. They hated on us the same way.
That's right.
They just couldn't take nothing but backpack shit. They just wanted everything to be about Mother Earth and incense and so on and so forth. He was like, that, he was like, it wasn't just y'all. That's the most logic.
Wow.
The deepest perspective. He's the only one who even attempted to address the issue with it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was like, nah, man, nah, it ain't like that. You know what I mean?
I saw it addressed too because, like, you know, they were the older guard, they were patterning themselves after R&B acts. They were patterning themselves after Cameo and, you know, R&B, Earth, Wind & Fire. So with the costuming and the pageantry for stage and shit like that. So they hated, actually didn't like Run DMC because it took a lot of that away. You know what I mean? Like, they just came with just leather pants, shell-toe Adidas, how niggas off the street was dressing. So,
see, that's why I think, you know, that kind of logic and perspective I can appreciate and I can consider.
True that.
And you know what I'm saying? I can say, okay, well, I can see that.
True that.
And, you know, man, maybe it ain't that bad. But at the same time, I also remember what it was like to go from 6th grade, Outkast being the hottest thing with Southern Player Listed. I'm talking about the hottest thing. Going to New York, not hearing a peep.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, what the fuck? Y'all ain't up on this? What's going on?
That shit was tough love up there.
And they're like, nah, man, we ain't trying to hear that shit, yo.
It was tough love, bro. I ain't gonna even lie. Because once I look back on it, New York, them your big brothers like, nah, you can't do that. Nah, you're going to have to prove to them.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So once we went up there and came back, started hitting the tunnel, started rocking and seeing us on the streets up there, man. They
The tunnel somewhere I never got a chance. I ain't never get a chance to fuck with that. I fucked with Skate Key once. Not as a performer, but just as, you know, just going in there and fucking around. You know what I'm saying? But I never got a chance to rock it.
I think we might have been one of the last few live performances in it before they shut it down.
Word.
It was crazy. That was crazy.
But see, I never understood the disconnect between the East and the South. I always felt like, you know, we was relative. We the bottom end of the East Coast. I always felt like we was relative in that way.
Well, how I see it, from a society standpoint, the only way you know you on top is if you got somebody up under you.
They're right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think it was anything personal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the only way that they could kind of really identify themselves as being the dominant force is if they had something to dominate.
True that.
You know what I mean?
But at the beginning, they were the only. I mean, like they didn't even have counterparts. So I understand the entitlement of where something originated from, but I don't understand the arrogance. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I mean,
it's, you know, it's just like if you were born with it. This shit was New York is the birthplace of hip hop.
Right.
The Bronx, I believe. The Bronx or Queens.
Right.
I think they go back and forth about it. But
Bronx.
But what I'm saying is, okay, when you have that from birth, and it isn't anything you had to necessarily fight for or earn, it was just something that it was a birthright.
Right.
Yeah.
So it comes with a certain, like, an air of I already have this.
Right. So, like, if you didn't plan to have an effect, you didn't plan to have any offspring, that means you didn't even plan to procreate. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you was going to give birth. And people going to adopt. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
But I think it's nobody thought that they would do it. I'm not going to say better than them.
That's what I was just going to say.
Just as. I'm talking about neck and neck. You know what I mean?
But to be so different, I think that they kind of felt like in order to achieve the level of success or in order to have the shit be as good as their representation or their presentation, it would have to mimic it.
Right.
In such a way.
Right.
To go completely against the grain of what it is, the boom bap of what they, you know, the origins of this art form.
Right.
To go completely against that with bass guitars, live instruments, and 808s, and you know what I mean?
It's like, I dare you to be inspired to be unique.
How dare you defy?
and not emulate us to a T so we can still have contempt for you.
How dare you not emulate us so we can hold you accountable for trying to copy?
But this is the thing, is like when we talking about the relation, I always reference the way that Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force, like, you know, Planet Rock. I mean, I don't even know what you call that. When they created it, all he could call it was the perfect beat.
Right.
I possess the perfect beat. I love that. But then it ultimately became what we embraced as skating rink music, or Miami, Florida embraced as Miami bass.
But you know,
it's still derivative.
You know how I see Planet Rock? Planet Rock is an evolution of Parliament Funkadelic.
True that.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
You dig what I'm saying?
And if you look at that costume, and that's what they were emulating. You know what I'm saying? But George Clinton's always been an optimist. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always had the foresight. He was the first person to not charge for samples and allow people to sample Parliament music, because there was a big conflict and controversy about that before he was more liberal.
Yeah.
Apparently, as legend goes, he's the one that convinced Rick James to let Hammer sample Super Freak.
Super Freak for Can't Touch This.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Man, speaking of sampling and, evolution and growth, Goodie Mob has inspired a lot of the new generations of artists. Everybody from Future, the Earth Gang, Big Crit, myself, Travis Scott, and so many more. When do you really get to see your influence, and how does that feel to you?
Oh man, just those names that you just mentioned. When you see people they're not emulating you, they're seeing something that you're doing and taking it to another level.
It's an extension of, right?
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Good analogy. So that's when you know. That's when you know that I guess what you did 25 years ago is definitely having an effect on the genre and on the culture of music. And not only that, on younger brothers that's coming up under you. You see what I'm saying? So it's always each one teach one, steel sharpen steel.
Right.
So I think we didn't even know that's what we were doing. All we were doing was putting that flag up for Atlanta, Georgia.
That's right.
And trying to fit into a big-ass bowl where everybody looking at us like, oh, shit, well, show me what you can do. And show me first.
We were too young to even kind of like fathom being the forefathers that we've become in retrospect. You know what I mean? But we did want to make music that we could grow old gracefully with. So the offspring that we've, created, you can consider that Planned Parenthood.
Couldn't say that one better, boy. God damn it. Just let him do it.
Hey, bro. Okay. All right. Well, I can concur with that, because I've said it before and I'll say it again.
You've done it.
Absolutely. But this is as I retort, I feel like Kilo and Sammy Sam crawl.
Yes.
So Outkast and Goodie Mob could walk.
Yes, sir.
So T.I., Jeezy, and Gucci
Could fly.
could run.
Okay.
I like that.
Now the young
So
boy
Thug and Future and Migos could fly.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
I love that.
And that's the evolution.
Love
That's
that shit, bro. You need to write that one down.
That's the chart of evolution.
That
right
need to be in the Bible somewhere right there. That sounds like goddamn Corinthians right now, boy.
I love that one, bro. I love that, bro. I love that.
Another reason why, this is very important. Like, this is a very, very important episode to me, man, because you guys, not all of you guys, but Gil, you, and Timo, y'all were the first celebrities I ever saw over at Dutch Barbershop on Campbellton Road.
Corey Dutch, H.I. Legend.
Yeah. Right on Dotson and Campbellton, man. I used to sell me, Cap, KT, and all of you to sell dope next door at Bright House.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody used to always tell me when y'all pull up, you had the Fleetwood on the Gold D, man. You know what I mean? Everybody used to tell me, hey, man, go rap for them. Tell them, and I'm not rapping for them, man. I'm trying to get my pack off. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Y'all in Too Short. Y'all Too Short. And that's about it. But you guys always, like when KP brought me out to LA for the first time, I attribute you guys' I guess acceptance of me to the reason why I came home and I ain't never want to sell no more dope again.
So we got to give the people some history, man, how far we go back, man.
Man, we go
when
back
KP
far
brought you
ahead.
to L.A., I know, where we were? Were we in L.A. or were we in
LA.
D.C.?
We was in L.A. we was in L.A.
Was in LA.
My first trip out of town for music was 99, the Source Awards in Los Angeles. We were staying at the Sofitel.
That's right.
Right across the street from the Beverly Center.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
We were
right.
Freestyling on the bus.
Yes, we did.
I was brand new.
Yes.
This was
For
just
Joe Claire.
Yeah, with Joe Claire,
We did
Big
Rap
Liz.
City, yeah.
Y'all with just me meeting me. It ain't like we knew each other from the city for real.
Right.
KP just popped up with a new nigga. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, shit, where you from? I was like, shit, I'm from Bankhead. And then goddamn Kuja like, shit, you from Bankhead? Come on. Okay, let's get it. And y'all as well as Dre and Big, y'all embraced me. It wasn't no hate. Also, man, you know, J-Bo, Sean Paul as well, Youngblood. It wasn't no hating. It wasn't like a motherfucker was, you know what I'm saying, trying to sign me up. Like, man, that nigga trying to take my spot. It wasn't nothing but a bunch of love, you know what I'm saying? I remember.
Always free. He was always free. We always, but he show up in that, and he used to have that linen on with them shades. Charlotte was so free.
Hey, we knew we were getting to some money because you couldn't, you know, average nigga can't have no Cartiers on back in them days.
Hey, listen, man.
And a linen outfit. That nigga was all linen.
Let me tell you something. I was buying 2 on the baby at the time. Okay. I hustled up, and I told my plug Reek. I say I need 4.5 today, and I'm gonna pay you back when I get back. Right. So he went on, gave me the 4.5 after, you know what I'm saying, for the 2 on the baby, and I went on, hustled up on. I had to get myself together, right?
When Malice say 4.5 will get you in the game.
You dig what I'm
Anything
saying?
less than that is a goddamn shame. Yeah. Come on.
Hey, but look though.
Speak on it though.
I remember Gil and C-Bone saying, "Boy, get here now, but this nigga here, this ain't no put together. This the real A-Town right here. This the real city."
Yeah.
And motherfuckers really did embrace me, man. And you know, I could never thank y'all enough for that.
See, you was from the house. You know what I'm saying? You was from the house. No, you don't have to go check a nigga record. You don't have to pull up a nigga file. None of that shit. Cause like I said, that's right around the corner from my grandmama, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? South Grand.
Right.
Goddamn Center Hill. That's right. Motherfucking Wood Street, Mill
Church Street.
Church Street, all that shit.
I lived on Church Street.
You feel
Yeah, I
me?
know it. I know it.
Bacon roll. My wife, you talking about bacon roll, all that shit.
I live right off on Baker on Old No.
Word?
Yeah, well, me and Pretty used to stay together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Homeboy, that's why.
Shout out to PK, man. Pretty King.
I figured he done told you that story by now.
Man, I mean, he told me y'all were close, but he don't really talk much about it.
We gonna pull him out. You know what I'm saying?
He don't really talk much about it.
We gonna pull him out.
Goddamn, you know, DC Young Fly right from over the same.
West side.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He on the album.
A word?
Yes, he
now.
You dig what I'm saying?
Him and Reek.
Man.
Hey, to where we was at one night, man. We was sitting in the car, and damn, we was in the park, and I don't know, we was shooting a video or something was going on. But that when you was putting I'm Serious together,
Okay.
and you played me I'm the king, don't act like king.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that shit, that
Yeah.
jam. You like, I produced this one. You remember that?
I
It was just
do.
me and you sitting in the car listening to that record.
I do. I think it might have been one of y'all videos for World Party.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was really just like, you know, I got signed in 99. My album came out in 2001. So for 2 years, I was just trying to figure it out and put this shit together. So
Right.
I was just showing up to all the videos,
Right.
as many shows, the studio sessions as I could find myself in.
Yeah.
And I remember asking each and every last one of you. This is very, this is very controversial. This is very controversial.
Were we attended by the king
material
of the South?
Hey, I said, hey man, how y'all feel about me calling myself the king of the South?
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's what each and every last one of you said.
Yeah, right. Do it. Do that.
That's exactly that. Each and every last. I spoke to you guys. I spoke to Bun B. I spoke to Scarface.
Yeah.
I spoke to Big and Drake. Yeah, I mean, I spoke to everybody who I felt like I would have had to speak to before I proceeded. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know. And I ain't never said I was blessed.
Right.
Yeah. I never told them that I had the blessings of the oligarchs. But you did. You know what I'm saying?
What you say though? As long as niggas like Cash and Goodie Mob ain't tripping, what the fuck is you saying?
Yeah.
How that verse go?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I can't
See,
even
like I said, what's the problem with a king being amongst other kings?
There is no problem.
What's the problem with that?
You know what the real problem was? Motherfuckers felt like they should have thought of that
first? I've been there before too. Like, damn, why did I think of that shit?
Yeah.
That's really what it was. So, you know, just as we learn from our teachings, our readings, and the four agreements, most of the time, how people respond to you is a reflection of them. It doesn't really have much to do with you.
Can I speak on the current event?
Absolutely.
That lends itself to a post that you put up that you're kind of dealing with some backlash, you know, as we speak. But that's basically the time.
I'm finding the fight.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Finding the fight, CeeLo.
But that's
finding the fight.
You know what? I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Because I rested there.
For sure.
I've been left there. They closed the furnace. I've been cut the heat up. Come in the furnace, cut the heat up, and close the door. So now what the fuck is heat?
But that's even before this prior incident. You know what I'm saying? We won't name it, you know, specifically, but
No,
we all
we
know
can name it.
But like, you know, going even further back, what we're talking about is history, Atlanta history, and we did support each other and lift each other up, and that is how we do in Atlanta.
That's real.
You know, and that's proof. That's the evidence of that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Even with the present situation, I think what hurts my feelings even more is the fact that the people who I've spent all of my time around and all of my time speaking for, fighting for, standing for, still treat me as though I'm a stranger. Like you don't know me. Like you just met me yesterday. Like you got to question my character. Like you got to, you know, call into question my intentions, my morals, my integrity as a man when I've shown you time and time again what it is with me.
I love that.
You know what I mean? And if it ever was anything that I intended to say or that I intended to have portrayed, I would say that. And once I tell you, excuse me, I don't know what you thought, but that ain't my intention, and that's not the spirit in which I'm coming from. After I've said that to you as a man, honestly, you know, earnestly, genuinely,
Right.
And express how regretful and remorseful I am for the matter at hand and the way that you're taking whatever it is that I said, you know, that's causing you harm.
For sure.
I don't apply pressure to nobody's pain. That ain't really what I'm here for, bro. I stand up for folk who feel like, you know, their pain is being applied pressure to. So for people to really kick it with me like that, bro, like this they first time meeting me, that shit really like, that tugs at me a different way.
But sometimes you got to apply pressure to the wound and stop the bleeding.
Well, yeah, this is also the case, man. This is also the case. Well, I will say this, man. I ain't never meant no harm to the family, the friends, associates, or anyone who's been affected by the passing of Brother King Von. My statement was not meant in direction of his incident. I wasn't thinking about the incident when I made the statement. I saw it posted on somebody else's page in this room.
Man.
And I wasn't going to say that. I saw it posted on somebody else's page in the room, and I reposted it. And it just seemed like when I reposted it, it took on a different meaning all of a sudden.
Like, why? Like, why you?
But I'm not going to say, hey, y'all, I got it from Gil. I'm not going to say that. All right, cool. I got the heat. Come on, man. Give me the heat, man. Come on, man. Cut it up, man. How's it go? You know what I'm saying? Because I know, man, like, just as a man, I know in my heart, bro, and I know God know my heart.
Yeah, right.
You know, man, I ain't never had no ill intent, man, and no real malice behind that brother. I don't think critically or I don't think ill of him before or after his death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not that, I ain't that guy. That just ain't me. And once I say that to you, I can't take what you do from there. Like, whatever you do from there, I'm going to have to leave it in the universe hands at that point, because now it's not about me.
You done.
You know what I mean?
Done.
May God bless all our little. May God be with all our young soldiers out here, man, in the struggle, man. You know.
Absolutely.
You know how it go.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I can admit that, you know, in hindsight, I could see how someone who did not know me, you know what I'm saying? Someone who don't know me, I could see how you could say, man, that was bad timing. Like, you weren't supposed to say that then.
My daughter.
If I was thinking about it and still said it, then fine. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't strike me. Like, when I saw it on your page, I didn't think about that moment. I wasn't thinking about that issue at the time.
You think about in general and period.
I was thinking about my city, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And then I reposted it.
For sure.
But, you know, you know what else it has brought me to understand and to see? I can stand up for, I can speak up for, I could be there for anyone at any time. But anytime it's time for folk to be there for me, it'll never be the same in return.
Come on.
And I can't expect that. I ain't gonna trip off of it, bro. Because like I told you, I'm finding the fire.
Okay.
I've been in here before.
Still feel good, don't it?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm numb to it.
Okay.
That's the thing. It just really hurt my feeling that the people that I'm fighting for, I have to still fight with.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the only thing for real that really just kind of, you know, ruffle my feathers a little bit. But it ain't about me, man. This is about y'all.
Let's move on.
Tell me the story about how Tupac wanted to join Goodie Mob. How he wanted to join y'all group.
Okay, man. One night we were performing up at the warehouse, right up the street. Used to be the Phoenix Dance
On Marietta
Club first,
Street.
on Marietta Street.
That's right.
Man. Me and Cujo used to frequent that spot, man. I was a student at Morris Brown College, and all the college folk, you know what I mean, from Morehouse and Spelman and Clark and Morris Brown, I used to meet up at the Phoenix Dance Club and just have a good time.
Right.
But dude named Greg B, I don't know if you know Greg Britt, but Greg B, he was like the host. He was like the master of ceremony of this thing that they used to call the Pass the Mic contest back in the day.
Real.
There were no Atlanta rappers, you know what I'm saying, that would come in there and do nothing on that stage. It was everybody from New York.
That's right.
And the only Atlanta rapper that did come up on the stage, he wasn't really a hip-hop artist. He was more, you know, like Mojo and real Atlanta, so Atlanta, that nobody in there, believe it or not, could even connect with the dude. I thought it was hot.
was it?
I don't even know. It was no name dude up there freestyling, but it was fire. But just me and Cujo would go every Friday to try to shoot our shot.
Mm-hmm.
So we get up on it close to the stage. We get close. Dude, Greg B, I'm talking about, I might be the microphone. Greg B might be looking this way, looking over this way while I'm standing right in his face like, dude, right here, let me try. He looking everywhere. I said, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I let it ride for a couple times. That I finally got pissed. I said, you know what, dog? Man, nigga don't know. He don't understand who we are, man, what we got to give to this game right now, bro. I said, let me tell you something. On everything I love.
Uh-oh.
You know when niggas stay that way.
Ain't nothing gonna stop.
nigga mean business.
Ain't nothing gonna stop me from getting that microphone this Friday night. I'm telling you, when we go here Friday night, I'm taking this microphone and I'm rapping, dog, on everything. Cool to tell you, man. He can vouch for me, man.
Facts.
And I ain't trying to say that because I was trying to jump bad with nobody. I ain't no big muscular crazy looking dude.
They don't take that.
Hey, but I tell you what, though, it's all right here beating
hard,
every day,
boy.
all day. And I said, look here, I ain't finna let him disrespect what we got to bring, man. Nobody up there from the South, man. We need our opportunity. We need our chance. So went up there to the thing, man. Dude, I'm saying thing on the microphone, dude, looking all everywhere for everybody. Who want to try? Who want the mic? I'm pass the mic. Anybody want it? Dog. I snatched that goddamn microphone out that nigga hand there. I looked that motherfucker in his eye and I said, look at here, dog. I'm finna rap, dog. I went up on the stage, man. I said, pump the goddamn music, dog. That nigga played goddamn deep cover. I still remember to this day.
Yeah, nah.
He played the deep cover beat, man. I freestyled. I honestly, man, probably about 3-4 minutes. I was going. I had everybody. I was good. The next thing you know, pass the mic. But I felt so good that night, man.
Dope.
I just felt like, man, we had our opportunity. Anyway, to make a long story short, that particular night, it was actually the next night we went to the Phoenix. It was a young lady came up to me and she was like, yo, I'm Tupac's publicist. Yo, he want to get with y'all. And I'm sitting here like, damn, I'm in the Phoenix Dance Club in Atlanta, Georgia. This motherfucker say, Tupac want to get with me. That's my hero. That's my favorite. They know. I ride for Pops. Anybody say something bad about Pop, man, I'm coming at your throat on everything, man. I love that, man. That man was my dog on everything, man. Just like you had the same type of spirit like you got, man, on everything, man. But
True that.
the girl said he want to be in y'all's group. I said, you kidding? She showed me, she wrote down his address so that I could write him when he was in jail. She was trying to get us connected.
Damn.
Everything. This was less than a month after that happened, Suge signed him.
After he
Damn.
he called the office.
Yep.
So he did call the office. That is true.
That's true.
He was calling the office trying to be in Goodie Mob.
Trying to be in Goodie Mob.
That shit would have been prolific.
Boy.
historical. Can you imagine if Pop would have went to Goodie Mob?
I can, man.
He was just he was just so crazy. I remember the night we went. He said, T called me, say, man, Pop wanted us to come to the studio. I said, all right, let's go. When we got there, one studio, Daz and Corrupt, they were crunk, but you already know how they were doing it. Then we walked in there with Pop sitting at the goddamn desk. I was like, Pop. He's sitting there. He was in the studio and we walked in. He was like, I watched Pop rap with a cigarette, holding a glass of Hennessy, and never messed up his rap.
Nope.
I got that shit on tape.
He was doing Good Life. He was recording the record Good Life.
He said, my niggas Goodie Mob in the house.
Yeah.
Like, fix them niggas what they want, man. What y'all niggas want, man?
And it was crazy. That night, he played us, hit him up. And I'm talking about, it wasn't nothing but him and Lisa Left Eye sitting at the board. He was like, yeah, I'm going to play you something. I was like, all right. When he hit the button, when it went off, I remember me and T looking at each other like, man, this shit crazy. I was like,
man, that saying some shit on this one.
I was like, this shit crazy.
Yeah, EDI from the Outlaws, he verified that on the Vlad TV interview, so it's a fact.
It's a fact.
I get a little disappointed. It's a bittersweet story for me to hear because I ain't go that night. I had the choice to go.
Man.
I was fucking around, man, bullshitting.
What you had going on?
I thought we were going to rap that night, though. I really did.
So how come y'all ain't never do a record together?
Man, I don't know why we
He
didn't
wanted
do it
to
that
do the record that night,
I kept
man.
Suge.
He kept saying, let's do it later, man. He wanted to do it that night.
I kept saying.
That's what we went there for, to get on the record with the man. I seen him the night before at a party at the Century Center.
Right.
And they got into a big fight, shut it down, rolled out with him. Dude said, you know Ron Bird? I don't know if you know Ron Bird.
Yeah,
Ron Bird pull up the shoe.
Ron Bird, absolutely.
He pull up well, you know this energy. He pull up the shoe with me in the back of the Jeep. I'm talking about it's about 30 deep.
Do it, Mo.
Gangsters in LA.
Do
like,
it.
You know what, man?
Do your Ron Bird impression, man. Come on.
Hey, Ron Bird, hey, Shook! You never believe who I have in the car with me. Hey, boy, I'm goddamn singing Ron Bird called me on Shook. That's right. He's like, hey, man, I love you guys' music, man. Keep up the good work.
Bet.
I said, man, thank you, Shook, man. I appreciate the love.
Let's go, Ron Bird. It's time to leave out of here right now, please. If you can hit reverse. Hey, man.
Is there a way we can get the remainder of that tequila in here, please?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without question. Now, CeeLo, your vernacular is one that, many, it's hard to imitate.
They tease us both about our vernaculars, man.
They think it's just me. You know what I'm saying? They think I'm the only nigga from Atlanta, from the West Side, that actually can articulate himself in such a way. But I think that us being able to kind of like bring our thoughts out of our minds and verbally kind of paint pictures for people, that's been a blessing. Like in conversation and within our music.
For sure.
I remember that record, the record that you guys did, where the video was like Reservoir Dogs.
That's Cool Breeze's Watch for the Hook.
Yeah, Watch for the Hook. Still one of my favorite records of all time, man. Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Here's to the South,
Here's
man.
to the South, man.
Thing.
Evolution.
Man, here's the 25 years of Goodie Mob. Here's the Atlanta, Georgia. Here's the T.I.'s new release of Libra. All of that.
Grass, bro.
Love,
For sure.
love and respect.
Believe
You know
that.
what I mean?
Eye contact.
Hey, but so let me ask you, where did your love for literature come from? Your love for grammar, your love, for vocabulary?
Well, people may not know this, man, but like I got an eighth grade education. I dropped out of school.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Which is hence the opening lyric of Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something. I don't recall ever graduating at all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get back to that now.
Yeah. So
I heard something. I'm giving you. We're gonna have some, some questions to come from inside information. Let's go.
Okay. So what people have seen from me, is me becoming self-civilized. You know what I mean? And whenever I'm verbose, you know, it's a vendetta for all of those who thought us Southerners were stupid.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it's payback for me. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And I'm always, my attempt, you know, is always to give what could be said in plain English, give it a poetic justice. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so now with that, I will ask 2 questions. And if the first one is true, I will take a drink.
Come on.
And if the second one, you can guess who told me, I'll take another drink.
Let's do it. I'll drink with you.
Okay, cool. All right, so the first question, is it true that Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something was the first verse you ever laid when you walked into the dungeon with these guys?
That's a fact.
Oh, man. All right.
That's a fact.
Okay, cool. So that was his absolute first verse.
Want me to tell you about it? Okay. So look.
Well, actually, wait a minute. That's what I was just going to say. So now is it true?
I know KP was told you this story. Because KP was pretty much engineering that night.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because this was the same night I think we did Claim and True, and he did, you know, KP's speaking part at the end of Claim and True. Big Gip, CeeLo, and the motherfucking Outkast. So but anyway, so how that story goes, and it's funny because I'm gonna mention OG King Floaty. I was just looking at Dope Boys in the Trap, that video. We was looking at Hip Hop Evolution, and Floaty's in that video, and I didn't realize he's in that video. So my cousin, shout out to OG Floaty.
That's because nobody hardly ever saw that video.
Yeah, it's
you know
crazy.
We shot that motherfucker when LA got down. He left Atlanta and flew up. You know, he was in the lap of luxury up in New York at Arista.
He regretted.
I mean, but it's all good. And I ain't tripping. No, I ain't tripping. Listen, L.A. Reid, man, directly or indirectly, man.
It was a blessing for you, right?
Absolutely.
As you said.
He gave me the jump start that I needed. And if I would have, I still believe to this day, if I would have had the attention and the efforts from LaFace, I don't think I'd still be the T.I. you know today.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I think I'd probably still be at a label depending on them to take care of everything I need and handle all my
You wouldn't have got it out the mud just like you supposed to, like a real one's supposed to.
The way I did. So whether it's for better or worse, or whether it was on purpose or not, he showed me everything I needed to know.
That's right.
To turn me into who I am right now.
Man, check this out. So me and Floaty was working at what's called a temporary agency. It's called Talent Tree. Y'all remember that?
Over there on Food in the Dutch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So this job,
that probation job.
That's right.
That I'm on probation job.
We would get up in the morning, go up to High Tower Station. If you're South Side or West Side, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and you wait out there with the rest with the Mexicans and everybody else. I don't mean to be racist. Like, you know, they would come through and they were like, okay, you. But anyway, we had gotten a job for the holiday season. We were working at the airport. And we had a Crush Groove moment. I don't know if you guys, any hip hop historians watch Expeditiously, you got to know about this. There's a scene in Crush Groove when they were working at the car wash and they all ripped off. They said, "We quit." And ripped off the car wash suits. They all had on Adidas suits and big gold up under the shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So we had one of those moments. Like we were in the lunchroom. We were working for UPS. We was in the lunchroom having a lunch break, and Players Ball came on the radio. And we was like, oh shit, and we quit. So we quit and we rode straight out to Bosstown. Bosstown is now Stank Only owned by Outkast. It was then called Bosstown, owned by Bobby Brown. Outkast bought that studio from Bobby Brown. That's some Atlanta history for you.
Yeah, we're gonna give you some more. We're gonna get another extension of Atlanta history, but continue on.
So we drove out there, and there was Rico Wade, the OG.
You dig what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? He it's him in the room by himself, and he's making just the first initial programming, you know, for Get Up, Get Out. So it's boom, with just little keys. That's all it was doing. That's all it was. So we just like, I didn't want to impose. I was just like, you know what I'm saying? And Floaty being the type of nigga he is, he say, hey, cuz, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, when you gonna let cuz get on the record? You know what I'm saying? Like, and Rico smile, he say, I'm just trying to find the right place for everybody, man.
Oh, basically, man, please let me direct traffic.
Okay. I'm just trying to find the right place for everybody, man. And so I leaned in and I got right in Rico's ear and I started singing it. You got to get up, get out, and get something. So I just got right in his ear, ran the whole verse down. He said, "That's it." That's it. So later on that night, but yeah.
Graduating that off.
So this I get coming to the story. So later that night, this was early. This was like 1, because we was right after lunch, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Everybody was pulling up around 6, 5, 6. You know, so there's a little congregation room. You know what I mean, like a little smoke room in Stankonia now. And Git was in there. I said, "Damn, they want me to do this verse, bruh." I said, "But man, I don't, this our song. I mean, with this, because I was in a group called Atlantis with another homeboy of mine. Shout out to Tyrus McClure, man, aka Popeye. You know, and Gip say, "Hey man, do your best. It ain't gonna be your last verse." You know what I'm saying? I said, "Okay." So I still went in the booth and I did another verse. You know, first to a song we had that's unreleased called "Way Back in the Rhyme Stack." You know what I mean? So I did that verse, and KP, you know how Dre was like, "What's up?" You know, all them NWA rappers was like, "Hey, yo, Red." They on the talk back, but he's like, "That was dope, but what's up with the verse from earlier today?" And that's a true story, man. So I end up, what y'all hear, man, I end up running Get Up, Get Out down one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. It's a one take.
That's fine, man. Hey, look, right? So as you detailed that piece of ATL history, man, by you know, telling us that Bosstown later became Stankonia. If you recall, DARP, which is next door. You know, it now is 5 Star Studios, is owned and operated by Future.
Wow.
This used to be Daryl Simmons' studio.
Silent Partner Studios.
Silent Partner, which then became Silent Sound, which is now Super Sound.
Right.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? Named after Super Sound Record Store.
Wow.
Yes,
That's what I thought we was going. When I saw that, I said Super Sound.
Yeah.
We going on
OG Theo.
Shout out Theo, yeah. Shout out OG Theo.
Wow.
Man, Southside, man.
You gotta love it, bro. You gotta
Yeah,
love it,
man. But you know, now, man, it's such a blessing. I look now and see how the community of hip hop in Atlanta, how it has evolved and expanded into what it is today. It is a multiverse, not a universe. It is a multiverse now.
Right.
And it's such a plethora of talent. And
say it with us, kids. Plethora.
With such enormous success that they got so much to like, they can interact with one another and they can work together in such a way that I didn't necessarily have when I was coming up in my era, but you guys did because you came up in a big family.
Yeah.
You had a group with 4.
Bet.
Not to mention Outkast, which was 2 more.
True that.
Not to mention, you know, Rico, Ray, Pat, you know, PA. It was like 8 or 9 of y'all that was really going hard and getting to it.
Facts.
When I came up, you know what I'm saying, it was me and I fought with everybody and everybody fought with me, but we didn't have that connection, that interaction that, say, like Future, Savage, Thug, you know what I'm saying? Like all of the cats right now have an opportunity to work together in such a way.
Right.
How does it feel to see that transpire right now?
I won't give the answer to this one, but I do want to say this. Growing up in a big family, man, to teach you how to share your food. Okay,
And fight for your food.
You know what I mean?
I love to see Atlanta doing what they doing right now, Tip. Like, to watch so many, like, we are the only city outside of Los Angeles that did the trifecta. The trifecta, I mean, is that every part of this town, we got a platinum artist in every part of this town. And only New York or LA has done that. You know, so for me, to watch all these kids be so expressive, I love Thug, I love Future, I love Pee Wee the Long Way.
Yeah. Long way, kid.
Why you gonna make the other his middle name?
I mean, I love Gooch. I love you. I love Jeezy. I love everything that y'all did. And you gotta, when I look at you, you stood out back then. It wasn't nobody on your level back then. Like, I watched you walk in the 112, grab the mic with mink on to do the thing, and he's like, damn, he doing that in the club. You were the first that I saw do that. Right. You know what I mean? So for me personally, like, I love the way Atlanta has turned into just a community of, as long as we pull another one up, another one can pull 5 more up. Right. And that's what we did.
I mean, man, you know, I think that what really, really makes it mean that much more to me is looking back at the illustrious legacy that this city has had. Our legends are still alive.
Say that,
man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about to the Sammy Sounds and the Kilos and the Goodie Mobs and the Outcasts and the Jeezys and the Shadis.
I just had lunch with Raheem the Dream the other day at the Olive Garden.
Yeah, see, you going back farther than I can. I know Raheem the Dream. But,
talked to Shadi about 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks.
I did not experience Shadi firsthand, but DJ Toomp did put me up on game.
Toomp is the... I love how Toomp stood up for you too.
Yeah, man, Toomp, that's my big bro.
That's my big bro. Toomp taught me how to scratch.
That's my Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no cap on that, man.
No doubt.
Now, every artist, and all of us have gone through it. I can tell you the moment in which I went through it. But every artist has reached a point in their evolution, in their career path, where they felt the pressure of making a hit more so than, you know, just recording what's on their minds and heart and completing an album. So now I got to ask you about the process of World Party.
Okay.
World Party. Because World Party was when Goodie Mob was at its, I'm talking about you guys were juggernauts. Yeah. And nobody, and how old were you guys? Did anybody tell you were rapping like 29-year-old men at the time?
No.
Nobody?
We were, I might have been 23 or 24.
Scared,
27, 28.
Nigga was scared of y'all?
Niggas was asking us, man, you niggas don't get your dick sucked? I mean,
what?
Like, what's up, man? Why? I mean,
speak on it, Joe.
You was a bit standoffish, though, Cujo. Like,
not really. Not really.
He was.
He was, big homie.
No, niggas just couldn't really figure me out at the time, really.
You were a little more personable.
I tried.
You and Gil were a little more personable.
I knew I had to be.
Cujo and Timo was a little more, who the fuck are these niggas?
Yeah.
But see, we all went to school together, so CeeLo knew me.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Me and Gip was in a group long time ago called 6 Cents. Right. We got them Ray Murray. So Gip knew me, Timo knew me, and I knew all these brothers. So the thing about it is dealing with Southerners at that time.
Right.
That you don't know what's on a Southerner's mind. He might look at you one way and be thinking about something totally different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what that was.
Every niggas with gold ain't for the fall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, say that.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Bars.
I think that, you know, I just wonder how that felt, though. No, how it felt being forced to kind of make World Party at a time where you developed the cult following.
I know what you're saying.
And you were shifting your sound.
It was
what
tough.
pressured you to shift your sound is what I'm asking.
Shit, Organized Noise, they was doing everybody else's track. They was fucking with Cool Breeze. They was doing Wick Doctor shit, so Backbone shit. So it's like we were still trying to get tracks from them, but they were still doing these other guys shit.
That's the perfect word, default.
Right.
And let me tell you something, man. We were defaulted by our contemporaries and our counterparts. Like, you know, we were looking at the successes of Cash Money, No Limit. You know what I'm saying? And for the life of us, we couldn't, you know, stomach, you know what I mean? Like, you know, why we weren't as perceivably successful. We were a success because we had succeeded in what we had attempted to do.
Right.
But, you know, like at that point, you know what I mean? At that point in our stage in our growth and development, man, like, you know, like we just wanted to be you know, we wanted to expound on it, elaborate on it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like.
You wanted to grow.
Niggas got mad because we let our hair down, bro.
Okay.
They didn't want. They didn't want to
see you to be.
They didn't want Goodie Mob to let their hair down. They wanted Goodie Mob to be with the struggle and with whoop the woo and with this and that. But now, nigga, we was going. Our shit was being accepted in Japan.
Right.
Our shit was being accepted all over the goddamn world.
Yeah.
So why was he gonna come out mad and shit at motherfuckers? No, these niggas.
You can compare it to like the way that they don't want they don't like Mary J. Blige when she happy about some shit.
Right. They ain't want to be happy.
Okay.
They ain't want to be
feel
happy.
me?
Yes,
Mary J. Blige had a song called Happy that still sounds sad.
Right. You know what I mean?
I think niggas wanted Goodie Mob to be on that old slave ship type chain shit. I mean, Soul Food was innocent, dig that, but Still Standing was more fuck you.
That Still Standing, man, that was a work of art. That was a perfect follow up to Soul Food. Still Standing, you couldn't ask for a better
people saw themselves, they saw their reflection in our Superman, and then they had contempt in our Clark Kent.
Mm.
When we showed out with humanity and
the philosophy,
you know what I'm saying?
Here on expediTIously.
Right on the top of the head. You know what I'm saying?
Love that one, bro. Love that.
But it makes sense though, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And I'm glad that we could speak on it, man, because sometimes, man, we get a chance to have closure, man. These are things that we've had to just embrace, you know what I'm saying, as minor inconveniences and, you know, moments in time. I mean, we've gotten past them. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know, about one more thing.
Look, bro, I'll tell you like this. Niggas won't even acknowledge that album.
It wasn't fault either.
Tell you do good.
That's the biggest selling record we got.
That's how you know you're on the song.
It sold 800,000.
I saw an interview with Eminem, and he said, like, yo, this is how I've gauged my hit singles since the beginning. He said, when I don't like the song, that's when it's a hit.
True that.
Right.
Ain't that some shit?
I feel like that by Bring 'Em Out. I did. They fought me tooth and nail.
Look,
they fought me tooth and nail about Bring 'Em Out. By Bring 'Em Out.
But can I tell you something? This is when
But it's part of
this is when the Source magazine was coveted. This is when the Source magazine was coveted, right? So when you came out with Bring 'Em Out, Rubber Band, man, I just remember seeing that Sean John ad with you and Puff in the front of the fucking Arnage, one of them. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah,
with the guy with the fur coats on. I said they love that nigga. They love him. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? They love him. You know what I mean?
See, that was a South nigga that they can see. They can get up on and say, let me see what type of game we know the
but
game.
See, I knew
you knew what you was doing with that line though. Jesus and Jay-Z. That's the one.
Yeah. But see, I always I pulled my game from everywhere. I pulled my game from everywhere. I've never been a monolithic creature. You know
to play me, hey he.
Need a track from God featuring Jesus,
Jay-Z. Come on, man.
That's the way it went.
That's young pussy pumper right there.
You know what I'm saying? None of it.
Young pussy pumper.
It must be. Now, CeeLo, they say, man, you were the one. You had a short temper, man. They say you had a short temper back in the day.
Idiot.
Say you had a very short temper, man.
This bro right here would get upset if you staring at him for too long.
Yeah. And I want to talk about something.
You know, heard some shit.
I heard some shit. I want to talk about something.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why you and Kilo couldn't get along? What happened with you and Kilo, man?
I want people.
Old battleground, boy. Old battleground.
Talking about feet in the air, man.
See, I want people to know this, man. I am a G. A natural born. But it's, you know, the definition has been muddled. You know what I'm saying? Like over time with the generation, the way that they embrace it and the way that they interpret it. The G, for our generation, man, having heart had nothing to do with being heartless.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
You feel me? About having heart. Yeah. So when you see the soul and the sincerity, man, like even the sensitivity that we portrayed as men, that's the G. That's the G I know. That's the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And yeah, I had a chip on my shoulder, you know what I mean? Like, cause I felt like we was defending something. You know what I mean? I felt like we was protecting something, and we were first line of defense, man, for the South for a long time. Real. You know what I mean? Just us four.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we done sit down with the best of them, whether it's Pac or whether it's Big, whether it's
Farrakhan.
Everybody, man. Everybody. My concession. We know you. We know everybody. We done been in the rooms with everybody.
That's one thing
you know
I can say, man. That's one thing I can say. I had my brothers, but they weren't rapping with me. You know what I'm saying? My brothers have walked into many fires.
Yes,
knowing they was going to get burned. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker left their motherfucking fly suit at the house. They left their fly suit at the house. But I can't not go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna answer your question though. Before music, I felt like my temperament was a talent.
That's right.
I said the fact that I can get busy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right.
maybe that's what I'm here to do.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
real.
Like, you feel me? Like,
That's real.
so I wanted to.
Wrecking ball.
So it's like I woke up every day and got dressed and go outside to get busy.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That was my thing. You know, 21 Savage said some dope shit on the radio with Big Bang the other day. He said, man, these niggas don't be no gangsters. These niggas be stupid. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? He said, he said, he said, they know they stupid, so since they stupid, they think they crazy.
Yeah.
And since they crazy, they think they some gangsters.
Man, shout out to 21 Savage, man. 21 Savage, man, is probably, one of the most introspective.
But I can
him and Thug, man. Hey, look, bro, you will learn a lot sitting around talking to those gentlemen.
That's the dopest shit I ever heard him say. Besides,
not knowing or not expecting whatever it is you're about to hear. Like one of the most prolific things that I've ever heard. Here, come on, man, let me help you out.
Yeah, I want in.
Take a little more. Please, a little bit too.
Share.
But you know that approach was just a shortcut to power. You know what I mean? You feel me?
I think one of the most prolific things, man, that I ever heard Thug say, it took me by surprise. And he said, "You must teach what's been taught." I said, "Where did you get that from?" He said, "Hey, man, Jay-Z a billionaire, right?" I said, "Yeah, Jay-Z a billionaire." He said it here on expediTIously too. He said, "Jay-Z a billionaire, right?" I said, "Yeah." He say, "I know Jay-Z, right?" I say, I guess, yeah. He say, "Well, I'm going to feel fucked up if Jay-Z died before he showed me how to be a billionaire because he can't take that game with him. He learned it for a reason.
You're right.
And the reason is to give it to me."
Wow.
I love that.
I say,
that.
but wait a minute though.
I saw that. He right.
Right. I say, but just you. He be like, well, he can get other people too, but
That's real.
definitely me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
Yes.
that really is. You can't really deny that.
You want me to answer this question about Kilo?
I want you to answer what happened with you and Kilo.